Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of VollThrottle, where today we are covering episode 7 of Drag Race Germany, Season 1. I am your host, Extra, and as always, we are joined from all the way across the pond in Germany itself, Herr Thomas. How are you?
Hi, I'm amazing. I still have Sundays off work, so I'm great. How are you?
Wow, man, you're just living off that pile of gold you sleep
Oh
on?
my God, yes. Yeah, no. We get paid vacation over here in Germany.
Oh, wow. I wonder what that's like.
Yeah.
Oof, well, yeah, it has been a week, so you are just a ray of sunshine.
I'm glad to be there for you.
And before we dive in, I just want to make a short disclaimer not to send any negativity or any hate to any of the queens that we talk about in this video. If you like the queens, go and give them a like and a subscribe and a lovely comment, and just keep it uplifting. This week, in our weekly onesie watch, we have, I guess it's more of kind of a punk t-shirt dress than anything, but I love this vibe. And I like it because I like it when the judges dress to the theme of the challenge. And RuPaul has not really done that in a really long time or ever really intentionally, but I like that Barbie, at least in this episode, has really kind of tried to play to the tone of each of the challenges, and I love that.
And it looks so natural on her. Like, at least the hairdo. Like, it looks
the mullet
amazing.
Is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the mullet that Raven wore on the new episode of Drag Race UK that just dropped. Hers was much bigger and fluffier, which I wouldn't have minded here, but I think this look really looks great on her.
She looks amazing. Johnny's, he is just a ray of sunshine. I really love his shirt. Like, the cutout on the shirt makes it, like, seem so starry, and, like, it looks amazing.
Well, and it's very much, like, kind of toned down to the bright colors and the ridiculous stuff he has been wearing, but he wears it really well.
Yeah.
We won't spend too much time on this mini challenge. They had kind of a rock out with your clock out mini challenge. It was just chaos. They had 30 seconds, which they did like this quick cut of them flailing around a stage with a bunch of styrofoam instruments over a RuPaul track, quintessential rock and roll behavior.
Yeah, I want to say, like, well, first of all, there's no way these queens put these looks together in 5 minutes, like they said in the beginning.
Right.
And nobody believes you. And also, like, we saw Meta, like, at least for, like, 2 minutes. What do you mean by saying... I mean, they said...
30 seconds?
You have only 30 seconds on the stage. Make the best out of it. I'm like, girl, nobody believes you.
Yeah, right.
And, like, then literally all they do is just break shit.
Well, for it to be such an inconsequential and chaotic mini challenge, they had the entire main stage set up with a full band instrumentation and, like, ended up just doing this, like, hilarious quick cut edit over a cheesy RuPaul track, which is, I mean, it's camp. I will not deny them that, but I was just like, why? Why? I mean, I'm entertained. I'm not going to complain. We can just move on.
Yeah, exactly.
On the runway this week, Barbie is giving another gold look, but I really am into this, like, futuristic chains across the face, the contacts with the huge pupils. It was a pretty striking look, and different than what we've seen from her before. Still looks gorgeous.
I was like, wow, what? Like, this like looks kind of fetishy to me. I was expecting this in the fetish week, but I mean, she still looks amazing as always.
Right.
So.
And Johnny, resplendent in purple. I really love this this kind of brooch he has in the center at the top of his shirt with the all-inclusive pride flag. It is really pretty.
Yeah, I mean, he looks gorgeous as always.
That smile.
He has such a cute smile. So.
And Diane, oh my goodness, her spice level this week. I'm really intrigued by learning more about her relationship with Herbert, because, like, the way she was talking to him on that mic today made it seem like there may be a little something there. She was, like, really wanting him to, like, make her some pasta for dinner, and I was like, I don't think Herbert's duties stop at interpreter. He seems like a faithful companion regardless. And keeping that guest judge bar high, Estefania, she was so funny, so charismatic, such attitude, and I mean, looking on her Instagram, man, the looks that she serves are just top-notch, bright colors.
She's amazing.
Really well done. She is a ball of energy. Yeah.
She's amazing. Fun fact, I've actually met her.
No.
she was my customer one time. And I had been following her on TikTok. I did not ask her for like an autograph or anything, and I did not bring it up because I was like, I always feel like these kind of celebrities, they just wanna she literally just came in to get a gift, right?
Right.
So I was like, oh my god, okay, like I just want to treat you like a normal person. I don't want to freak
Right.
out, but she is amazing. She is really fun. I think she's actually from like around like my place. So
Wow.
yeah.
What a coincidence. I love hearing
Yeah.
that. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah,
That is
no, I
hilarious.
love that like I felt like in the beginning she seemed kind of nervous because I think that's one of her biggest gigs so far.
Yeah.
I was so happy to see her. She deserves it. She's a really fun person, and yeah.
It looks like she's going to be back next week. So I'm
Yeah.
really excited. And I mean, she's only going to be more comfortable and having more fun at that point. So yeah, really looking forward to see how she judges a comedy roast.
Yeah.
Oh man. So this week on the runway, the main challenge was a ball, which, we've been waiting for. We know that there's going to be the classic challenge, 3 looks with the third look constructed in the workroom. But it was interesting that the first round was a 3-in-1 look. So
Yeah.
by the time they got finished with the first round, I felt like we'd seen the whole ball. Like I'd seen 3 more or less complete looks from each of the queens, and it was just getting started.
I was just so confused because like we've seen in other franchises, we've seen challenges where the challenge was to construct a 3-in-1 look.
Yeah, by
And
itself.
that's the challenge. and now we have like a 3-in-1 look, and that's just the first.
Well, and in some of the other seasons, like in I think Thailand season 1, they did it first episode. Because it's a great opportunity to
Yeah.
get to know a queen because you can really tell a story through 3 looks in one.
Yeah.
But at this point, we're over the halfway mark. We're in episode 7, and so the judges do know a good bit about the queen. So the fact that they were challenged to bring 5 different looks to the runway and still, tell things about themselves that the judges don't already know, like it was a big challenge. And some queens really rose to the surface, and some others struggled a little bit. But I was really impressed overall by the caliber of the ball.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we can dive right in. First up is Metamorkid. Now, with this many looks on the runway, I was pretty excited to see what Meta was bringing because she always is so fashion. And I thought the idea to do a metamorphosis story through Meta's 3-in-1 look was just brilliant. I mean, it's made for it.
Yeah.
And the first look is obviously really campy and definitely lets you know where this is going. It's a very fashion cocoon, that she kind of shimmies down the aisle a little bit and then pretty deftly removes it in one fluid movement, which is not always easy. It's kind of tough to get too many details on this second look, but it was more of a kind of strappy black dress. I think it said "No Way Out" on the back.
Yeah.
And kind of, gave more of a story to that cocoon and trying to break out before fully revealing this lovely butterfly number. And the fact that we haven't seen Meta do an explicitly butterfly number so far, I felt like this timing was great for her. It was a great idea, and I think she executed it really well.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's the first time we've seen this kind of like from the caterpillar to a butterfly idea for a 3-in-1 reveal. However, it fits perfectly, and she did amazing. All of these looks are great. I mean, the first look, as you said, is just like pure camp. It's amazing. And she looks gorgeous. I'm always happy to see her on stage. So
yeah, she's just captivating. And that was just the beginning. The second category was future self, I think, future queen. And this is it's a pretty stunning look. I mean, the waist is cinched to an unbelievable degree. It's got kind of the grittiness of a Mad Max kind of look, but it does have some delicate touches to it, like with the pink and the sparkles and the kind of Marie Antoinette of the face, but also kind of zombie. It was a complex look, but I thought it was pretty stunning.
She looks amazing, and I think that the storytelling that she was doing behind it, like we will see later, she's not the only queen to do this, which for some reason they didn't bring up later. It looks amazing, and I thought the idea was quite clever. So yeah.
And the look that she created in the workroom, this is a really interesting look. I was impressed with how many different textures are represented here, but it doesn't look overworked or cluttered. Like, it's pretty simple and it reads really well, although a lot of the textures are black, which is really
Yeah.
hard to make look good on the runway, but I can see all the details, and she has fun serving it with the cage around the head. I love the black and green combo. I was a big fan of this.
She looks amazing. I think my biggest critique about this look would be that the runway theme was aber sexy, and she doesn't look poor to me. But I mean,
Hey, that's a valid point, and I'd forgotten that it was poor but sexy. I loved that phrase. I
yeah,
think from the Berlin mayor like, a few years
yeah,
back that Berlin is poor but sexy, um,
yeah,
and that's true. I think the queens were kind of relying because this comes up in Yvonne's critique as well. But that they kind of dumpster dove for materials like they did in the fetish challenge, and so you kind of trust that if you use the materials that you scavenge in the challenge, then that's fitting the brief. But I think
yeah.
the goal was for this to kind of look like you made it out of trash, but a lot of the materials that they got out of the trash didn't look very trashy. And so I don't think the queen should be really penalized for that, but she did work with what she had. And I guess the kind of mesh cone could kind of read as like a repurposing, I don't know, like a construction material or something, but
My biggest concern is like the hairdo because it does look very
yeah.
like high status like.
Yeah. She
So
elevated it.
that doesn't really read poor to me.
Right.
However, she looks amazing, obviously. So
Right.
like,
Well, the fact that she created this in the
yeah,
workroom, I mean, it's just so impressive.
and also, I mean, she's not the only queen that like doesn't look poor. Like,
Right. Yeah.
like literally, like virtually none of them look poor. So
Absolutely. And she used the materials that were given, so got to
yeah,
give her
no,
props for that. I mean, I'm going to give her
amazing.
props across all three of these categories. I'm going to give her heis, heis, heis.
Yeah, obviously, she's super hot today.
She is the queen of fashion.
Yeah,
Okay, up next, Yvonne Nightstand. Now, this first look was really just giving Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake at the 2001 American Music Awards. They wore the matching denim looks, and I think she kind of hilariously touched on both of their looks, just
yeah,
because she went from the more dress look with the cowboy hat to she ripped away the skirt and had the pant, which is more what Justin was wearing, which then revealed to the kind of bikini bottom, and he took the wig off and had the denim like skull cap, which
yeah,
is so hilariously Yvonne. I didn't think that the three looks were incredibly different from one another, like that. The silhouette at the top and the breast line never really changed. It was more the bottom and the top, but I did think that it was so campy and such a fun reference that I wasn't upset about it.
No, the whole concept is amazing, and I mean, she also knows how to like how to beat her face. Like,
Yeah.
she looks great. I would also like. I was kind of disappointed because I feel like a lot of queens fall into this kind of trap when they have this 3-in-1 look runway, that the looks don't always differ a lot
Right.
from each other,
Right.
and she also fell into that trap, I would say.
Yeah, it's just always so much more jaw dropping whenever
Yeah.
the looks just look totally different and you never saw it coming. And
Yeah.
I did think this was cute and clever, but yeah, maybe not quite as show stopping as some of the other.
Yes.
For her future runway, this is another look that we've seen this idea done a number of times. And this look is pretty simple, but I think it's really well done. Like, it's
Yeah.
very clean in its simplicity. And I mean, she's serving all the drama in the face.
Yeah.
She's got an incredible paint job done. The facial expression is pure Yvonne and pure camp. I love the big blonde hair. She looks like a robotic, futuristic Stepford wife.
This is what I imagine Yvonne will look like in 50 years.
Exactly.
I mean, like you said, it's not the like it isn't the most like what does einzigartig mean?
Unique, one of a kind.
Yes, thank you. Is it the most unique concept? No. Does she still look amazing? Yes. So
Yeah.
that's fine. And I also want to say most of the queens made had a like very political runway tonight, especially on the 3-in-1 look.
Right.
But I don't think that you need to have like a political statement in your drag necessarily.
Right. Well, and there are many opportunities to
Yeah.
bring politics explicitly into drag, but sometimes it's just fun to have fun and be
Yeah,
nonsensical.
for sure.
And Yvonne definitely brings that.
Yeah, I think she's like if I remember correctly, like the only one with the future look that doesn't have like a political statement about like
Environmental
anything.
concerns. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like impending zombie apocalypse. Like I kind of
Yeah.
like Yvonne's version of the future
Yeah.
more than some of the other
I
ones.
want to live in that future, please.
It's the least Mad Max out of any of
Yeah.
the future looks for sure. Now, her her third round look is a little bit more apocalyptic couture, which I am not mad about at all. She comes out with this kind of shawl over that is very kind of big and regal, and she pretty soon sheds it into this under bit. And like some of her past runways, this is a little bit chaotic and kind of all over the place. But for this kind of apocalyptic couture idea, I think it works pretty well. I love her makeup. I think she looks really stunning. It's a little bit hard to see here, but I really thought that Yvonne had a chance to be at the top this week, and I really wanted her to finally get a win. So a little disappointed when she didn't end up being there, but I think you could take this outfit a number of different ways, whether, it made a good impression on you or not. What did you think?
I would say the first two runways weren't my favorites. What I really liked about her final look was that this one was the one that read like the poor but sexy the most to me.
Yes, you're right.
Because she literally looks like she grabbed all that stuff
Yep.
just straight out of a trash can
Yep.
and put in the works and did what she needed to do to look sexy, and she did, and she looked amazing.
Yeah, I do get a certain regal kind of vibe from it,
Yeah.
as chaotic and like trashy as it is, but yeah.
Yeah, which is why like I'm quite confused as to why like usually most queens fail in the design part where they have to like put the look together in
Right.
the workroom. And for me, the other two looks were kind of a miss, but this one was amazing, so I was kind of confused as to how that happened.
Well, and that's why it was interesting that she got the critique specifically that her materials didn't look like they came out of the trash, and she
Yeah.
had to defend that one. Yeah, I agree with you in that out of the looks we've seen so far, I think this looks the most Amaba sexy.
Yeah.
Like, I really enjoyed her presentations tonight. They weren't the most jaw dropping, but I will give her highs.
I will give her a net for the first look, and the other two looks are highs for me,
Cool.
definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and talking about powerhouses on the runway, Pandora Nox showed up today. Now, my least favorite part of her entire presentation was actually right at the beginning. And the only reason is because I counted the looks that she presented on this look, and this is look number one, apparently.
Yeah.
And she immediately throws it off. And so this is like the only look that we get at it. And I see kind of like a crab claw, and then like the big spiky hair. Like, I love these shapes. I wish I understood it a little more, because like you can kind of tell that there's already a serpentine thing going on, but I didn't know if she was supposed to be some other kind of creature. We just didn't really get a
No.
chance to absorb it.
Yeah, I agree with you that I was kind of confused as to like, okay, was that like look number one? I don't know exactly what the yellow part at the top is, but I'm pretty sure that the red part is supposed to be the serpent tongue.
Oh, okay. It does look like a forked serpent tongue. I was trying to think of anything other than a crab claw, but since I could tell there was already some animal stuff going on here.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just more of a conceptual snake look.
Yeah. Maybe the yellow part is supposed to be like part of the eye, and then her face is like the pupil or something. I don't know.
Maybe. Because then she moves into this more, explicitly snake look, which I don't think any queen on the runway has ever gotten down and slithered up the runway.
Amazing.
But leave it to Pandora Nox to be that icon and to be that legend.
Amazing. I'm sorry, like this is one of my favorite runways of all time.
And the makeup matches the green theme. It's very Slytherin, the house down boots.
I love the hair.
Yeah, and you could tell that the judges were living.
It gave me like Poison Ivy, Sindel vibes. Like it was amazing.
Yeah, the two-tone hair really kind of gave
Yeah.
almost like a sinister kind of villainous vibe to it.
Yeah.
That I was really into.
She could literally play like a villain in like DC or Marvel. Like
she may get those opportunities after this season. You never know.
probably.
I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
And while she was on the floor, she wriggled out of the snake costume into this black strappy number, very flowy, really moved when she spun. She was in ballet shoes at that point and was up on point for the time that she was out there, and really moved really beautifully. We got such a variety of movements out of her across the stage. It was so creative how she utilized the space, and I mean, yeah, it was incredible.
It also told an amazing story about her because I mean, she's shown us time and time again that she isn't only like a drag like a drag artist. Like she does like this crazy like snake person movements. She's a dancer as well.
Oh, yeah.
She knows how to move. She knows how to paint, and also the way that Metamorkid also did it quite elegantly when she like came out of her cocoon, right?
Yes.
No, when she like turned into the
Yeah.
cocoon, basically.
Yeah.
And I felt like she also did it like it looked so effortlessly, and I am sure there is a lot of effort involved.
Yeah.
But she made it look amazing.
I really love her like gender fuck approach because, you know, we've seen her do feminine drag looks, masculine drag looks, but I love that even in her more feminine looks, like she injects it with a masculine energy. Like the way she was slithering down that stage had a real, you know, kind of aggressive edge to it, but was also really feminine and beautiful. And just like blurring those lines is, I mean, I guess I'm not surprised coming from her, but I'm so glad that we're seeing that on the stage.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah. It's from. Wait, did we? Oh wait, no, that was the first look.
Yeah,
that was just the first.
That was just the first look. Exactly. That's why we've already gone on such a journey. Well, exactly. We could go ahead and heist those 3 looks. But she did not back down with the second look. For her future look, it is very Mad Max, but it's such a different face for her. She used that nose prosthetic that gave these like elongated, kind of evil looking nostrils, and this really intense eye makeup. It's very otherworldly, extraterrestrial, future wasteland drag, and I love it.
No, she looks amazing. I also like the storytelling, which she doesn't only accomplish by like the outfit, but also her movements were amazing. She's great.
And the look that she created in the workroom also told a really great story. This yellow and black palette, I think, really worked for her. I know last week we had a conversation about the use of contacts and queens that, you know, repeatedly use contacts that without a specific purpose kind of gets old, but this was such a good use of that. Like the yellow makeup in between, like sandwiched in between the black, and then like the black pupil inside the yellow iris. I thought that was, we haven't seen a beat like this, and it works so well with this look. And yeah, she kind of looked like an evil villain in all 3 rounds of this ball, but she served it with such fierceness. Like I am sold.
Yeah, no, she's amazing. I do have to say I was kind of not seeing the trash part in the design because to me she just like looked really like fashion.
Well, I guess she just pulled a bunch of fur out of the trash can, which you know is fair, but it doesn't read as trash as some of the other.
No, and I will assume that like the orange and black parts that she like put together in the back, they're probably also made out of like some kind of trash material. But however, I mean, yeah, she looks amazing. The eye makeup is stunning. Yeah, heist.
See, and I sound like a broken record. I've given everyone straight heists tonight, but Pandora deserves these heists, so take them. Heist. Woo.
Yeah.
All right, Loreley Rivers is up next. Now, when she first stepped out on the runway, I hate to admit it, but the first thing I thought was, oh, Beethoven has re-entered the chat.
Drag her.
It's only because we just seen her last episode with this kind of, you know, powdered wig, very like black and white type look that's a little antiquated in style. But as soon as Beethoven went through my head, I immediately went to Fleetwood Mac. And I do think this is a great idea. And I do think that, especially for a 3-in-1 look, to kind of cycle through Fleetwood Mac themed looks is definitely not something I've ever seen before. And I thought was pretty clever. It was hard to get a look at the second number. It was black, very flowy, very Stevie Nicks, twirling around with a shawl, which definitely worked very well. And then finished with a bodysuit. I think it says "Go My Own Way" on it. Yeah, there are several looks that incorporated words tonight. I'm always a little bit wary of using words on garments. I think A, they need to be clear and legible, and B, they need to be an important part of the presentation. You know, something that couldn't be communicated another way. This is fine. Like the last look, it's not
Yeah.
terribly exciting with the Go My Own Way, but it definitely rounded out the Fleetwood theme. So I wasn't like mad at it. But she did post on her Instagram the remake of the Rumors cover with her looks, which I thought
Aw.
was pretty great.
Oh yeah, no,
But
this
but
is amazing. Yeah.
but like Lorelai, she just has incredible ideas, and like there are occasions where I'm not super sold on the execution, but the creativity is just through the freaking roof.
Yeah, no, she's an amazing queen. Also, like every week, I'm just amazed at how well she can do the makeup and everything. I gotta agree that especially the last look. I mean, I am not that familiar with Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Nicks. Obviously, I know who they are, but if she didn't tell me that the "Go My Own Way" was like the name of the song or a song lyric, I would be like, okay, and
Yeah.
I'm still like, well, okay.
Yeah.
So it's always bad if you have to explain your look.
Well, exactly, and that's why I said the words need to be something that couldn't be
Yeah,
communicated in another way.
yeah,
Kind of on the border, but it does look like it's just Times New Roman all
yeah,
caps. I just found spots on
yeah.
it here. Um, I don't hate it, but
No,
it didn't like blow me away, which is
yeah,
fine. I mean, it was round one of the ball.
yeah,
For round two, for her future look, she gave more of a like an environmental catastrophe kind of apocalyptic story of the future. This is a fine look. I think we've seen looks like this before. It's not the most detailed. I do like the kind of dirty seaweed kind of. She looks like almost like a apocalyptic mermaid kind of. I don't really see a lot of connection between the makeup and the outfit, but I like the long braid and it kind of ties in with the dress, so it's fine.
yeah. I kind of wish that she leaned more into the like gritty part of it, and
Yeah,
like I just said that she does makeup really well, and I mean she does obviously. I just wish that she at this like in this with this look she would have embraced the chaos and the like gritty like
yeah,
just smear it on your face basically.
yeah.
It would have made much more sense in terms of storytelling.
Yeah, the face definitely looks like it goes with a different outfit.
Yeah, she still looks pretty. It's not my
Yeah.
favorite look, but it's not a bad look
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, and that was definitely not the case with the third look because her face really did match the outfit really well with the red theme.
Yeah,
I'm not a big fan of this look though. As soon as we saw it when I was watching it, my roommate referred to it as an unfortunate dry cleaning accident, which I really couldn't get out of my head. Except the more I looked at it, the more I realized that it looked like a tragic dry cleaning accident with an unfinished garment. There are raw edges
yeah,
sticking out. That zipper on the side that you can see right there is pretty unfortunate. And the fact that it's pants, I guess, didn't really make it any more flattering. And I also think that this isn't being done any favors by Naomi's saran wrap look that we saw earlier this season, because she made an entire look out of that saran, like kind of a clear plastic wrap material. And the fact that this is just a little bit of it, I like the red. I like that it's tied in through the fascinator and the hair and the makeup and everything, but oh, I guess it's kind of taking me back to the first step where she wore a bunch of pants that I didn't really like, and I just
yeah.
think this look is a little sad.
The concept is nice, and I agree with Estefania. I really like the wig and the makeup and the fascinator. But yeah, especially because we know that I mean, she literally says in the episode that she works on like a sewing machine
Yeah,
every day.
right.
I expected a lot more from her, and I figure the judges did as well.
Right.
So yeah, this is definitely not my favorite.
We're used to see great ideas from her and really great concepts, and I think that that's something
Yeah,
that's lacking in this look. And maybe she was going for something that was more, just straight fashion and not like a big high concept thing. But it just looks like she didn't have as much time as she did to work on it.
yeah,
I'll give her first and second category looks nets, but I'm gonna
yeah,
give the third look a shice.
yeah. I sadly have to agree.
Next up, we have Miss Victoria Shakespears. who is taking us around the world today. One thing I really love about these three looks from her is that it really does say a lot about her. The first look is apparently from Basler Fastnacht, which is kind of the carnival celebration that they do in Basel, Switzerland. If you Google pictures of some of the masks and whatnot, some of them are pretty frightening. Like they're pretty intense with the imagery and the parades and everything. And I totally get it. Like I'm from Louisiana, and if you stumbled upon a Cajun Mardi Gras celebration without having any kind of context or warning about what you'd see, it would probably be a little. I love this mask she brought. The thing is like that this mask is the entire first look, which I think you're kind of relying on a prop and an entirely different look. Um, I do think it's really cool though. Like I'm not upset that she used this incredible prop, but I mean to lean on that for part of your look was just a little when everything underneath it is kind of totally unrelated, at least as far as storyline. Yeah. I don't know. I was a little let down by that.
Yeah, I mean it's basically like this is the whole first look, and I was like, well, okay, this like we can't even see you.
Right. It was good for her to clarify that that was Swiss in origin. You can already kind of see the Brazilian festival going on behind her, and I know that Brazil does big ball stuff too. And so I kind of had to listen and like Google a little bit to make sure that it was specifically for Basel. You can already see look, and like we said, whenever the looks change completely, it's a little bit more impressive. But the second look is a party, and it is Brazilian and bright and fun, which we know Victoria to be. And maybe that's why I was a little less jazzed about it, just because we know that about Victoria already. We've seen this kind of vibe from her, but she does wear it well, and it is authentically her, and I do love celebrating that.
No, I mean she always does look stunning, but yeah, I mean this was kind of to be expected.
Yeah.
Let's just say I was not surprised at all that this was the kind of vibe she was going for.
Well, exactly. And the same for the third round, because she stripped from that to a Britney look, which once again is very Victoria, and like these three looks do tell so much about her, which I think is what the judges were getting at. But at this point we're not surprised, and something like a Britney look she has done several times, and I know it's really important to her, and I love that she got to tell that story, and I'm glad Barbie asked about it during the critiques specifically. But I mean, if the judges got tired of Derek Barry's Britney looks after the first couple episodes being the preeminent Britney Spears impersonator in the world, then this is probably the fourth or fifth Britney type look that she's brought in 6 or 7 episodes of Drag Race. And unless that look itself is really different and unique and tells us something that we didn't already know, it's just a little of a letdown.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, was it All Stars 5 with Derek?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is why Derek don't like you.
Oh my god, this is one of my favorite quotes.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's amazing. No, but I mean, I felt like she brought up a kind of interesting conversation where she was like, well, everybody's saying that I need to show me and I need to be me, but this is just who I am.
Right.
I felt like that was a really interesting conversation because I was like, well, okay, yeah, I mean, I get that. Like, what are you supposed to do about it? If this is how you feel, this had such a huge impact on you, that's fine. And I feel like Victoria kind of has the same issue, where she's like, well, I am Brazilian and I am super inspired by Britney Spears. Right. So this is kind of like my vibe.
Right.
But
lean into it,
Yeah, and I get it, but also it gets kind of, I don't want to say boring. That sounds mean, because I mean, I'm not bored watching her, but
Absolutely.
It gets kind of one note.
Right. Well, that's why I feel like I should preface, all these remarks by saying that I do like these outfits on her, and I do think it says a lot about her, but it's not as exciting, and I didn't have as big of a reaction, as I did to some of the other queens. So moving on to the future queen look. This is a very interesting look. And, as a non-binary person, I love the idea of just giving a big middle finger to gender. But this is one of those times that it's like, if your outfit doesn't say no gender, did you really need to smear it across your chest? Like, this isn't the first time that she has written words on her body, and it's okay. Words are tough in general, like I said earlier, but especially when you're writing them on your skin, like on your body, like
Yeah.
there are good ways to do that. But I mean, for me, if there are words on skin, like the only word I can associate it is smeared. You know, it's kind of
Yeah.
like she smeared the dessert is served or whatever on her legs a couple episodes ago. Just the it's just always a little sloppy, and that
Yeah.
seems like one of the things that your garment should say and not words.
Especially since we've seen like Metamorkid
Ooh, yeah,
and Pandora, both of them do gender bendy looks all the time, and they always look so amazing.
yeah,
And obviously, I like the concept. I think it's a great idea. Like in my head, like I feel like in 50, like gender shouldn't even like be such a huge thing right now, but like in
absolutely.
50 years, it's probably, hopefully, not going to be such a big thing anymore. So yeah, I get it. But
Yeah,
and also, which I mean, it's kind of unfair to her, but Meta had literally the same concept, but it looked so much better.
especially in the
I'm
face, like with the
sorry.
one
Yeah,
contact and the light and
this looks like a
foundation.
costume version.
Yeah, and even besides the words on the chest, I'm not a big fan of this outfit. It's a confusing silhouette and weird colors together. It is kind of
Also,
weird and futuristic, but I'm not sold. Oh my gosh, and we were all wondering the whole episode what the hell she was going to do with that plant.
yeah,
And you know what? She just plopped it right on top of the head. You know, this outfit made me smile, but it's fine. You know, like I mean the fact that she constructed this is way better than anything that I could do, and it is definitely a Victoria vibe. And I do love that
yeah,
she incorporated the plant, but I feel like while she was moving around, like I could just see her thinking the whole time, like, okay, is the plant safe? Is it balanced?
yeah.
Am I keeping it upright? Because she normally moves so much, and I feel like she was kind of restricted in her movements, just making sure that she was balancing that, you know,
Yeah.
plant on top of her head the whole time.
It's a fun look, and I like the concept. It definitely reads Victoria, but I'm like everything to like the chest area looks amazing, and the rest is there.
Yeah, and even as a whole, like as nice as it is, it's just pretty simple. Like if that it had like a big overcoat, you know, like maybe something from her second look, or
Yeah,
you know, something to give a bigger like silhouette anywhere other than the head. Um,
yeah.
you know, it just could have been a little bit more, but she doesn't look bad. You know, she wears all these
No,
things really well.
yeah.
I'll give her first look a net. I'll give the second one a shice, and then I'll give the third one a net again.
For me, it's a net and then Scheiß.
Cool.
I
Yeah,
was not a big
absolutely
fan.
fair. Okay, and last but definitely not least, Miss Kelly Heelton. Now,
Oh God.
she told some stories on the runway tonight. It was a journey. Not only did her first look not have three looks, but four, but it was all gave them everyone a lot to think about and talk about. Her first look came out from the front. It kind of looked like a Supreme Court
Yeah,
gown, Supreme Court robe, um, with the fist raised. You know, she said it represented power. Not until she turned around did you realize the significance of that message. There are a lot of words written, and once again, you know, these words can be tricky on a look, but this was something that was so specific and so important to the story.
it made so much sense. Yeah,
Absolutely, especially the way it was written. It wasn't just
yeah,
like a font, it was handwritten in expressive font. And I mean, we don't have to translate all these words, but it's basically all the insults that I'm sure that Kelly and people of color hear, like being
yeah.
called, you know, disgusting and, you know, slurs for being gay and, you know, other racial slurs. And for her to present that on the runway was really powerful.
Yeah, what I really liked about it is, and what I really like about Kelly as a whole, I mean, obviously I love Kelly as a whole already, but you would kind of expect that on a queer show like this, that that she would like talk mostly about the homophobia, but she made it very explicitly things that she hears as a black gay man in Germany. I thought it was
Oof.
really powerful. The first, like the first of the four looks is already amazing. I also love how like um I don't know if that was part of the concept for me. Like I figure it was that like these words are on the outer shell, and she like throws them off and
Right.
like
Yeah.
gets rid of them, and like
Oh, absolutely.
it's like a protective like layer that she has.
Yeah, no, this whole the whole progression of her four looks, it seemed to tell a real story, almost like the 12 stages of grief. Not grief so much, but like experiencing trauma and dealing with it and becoming a better person because of it, which is a huge storyline to try to tell in 3 looks. I mean, that may be why she extended it to 4, which is always a risk because
Yeah.
you're risking, a whole nother look for the sake of the story, but the story was so important here. Like none of these looks in themselves were like huge jaw-dropping fashion moments, but that wasn't what was important, you know.
Yeah. No,
And like
and
you
I
said,
think that's important. Yeah.
oh no, like you said, she immediately casts off the shell of all those hurtful words on the garment. That doesn't mean that the hurt is over. Like she explicitly stated that this look was about the feeling pain. A
Yeah.
lot of it was in the delivery, but it was it was really hard to get a screenshot of this, so I apologize for the low quality. But it had a lot of red undertones between all the black elements, and so it's like you could really see the humanity, like the blood, basically like showing through the black. Which, although she had already kind of cast off, that outer garment with all the words on it, you can tell that like the hurt is still there, and she hasn't reached, a place of healing quite yet. It wasn't like the most, yeah, interesting of garments, but to go from the first look to tell the story, it was effective. She didn't stay in this look for very long because after she
Yeah.
got rid of the outer garment, she quickly, revealed to this from the black dress, which obviously is more of a turning of a corner, going from darkness to light to finding peace amongst the turmoil, and the trauma of existing in this world. And it kind of gave more of like I don't know, almost like a Madonna vibe, like a with the big red heart. And she did a wig reveal and everything, which ended up revealing to a fourth look, which was just the celebration. After finding the peace and the comfort of loving yourself, like being able to celebrate big and vibrantly, like we know Kelly to be. I thought was a great way to wrap up this journey.
Yeah. Amazing. It's like this is already like she could have just done this on the ball, and for me, she would have already been in the top.
Right,
So
right. Like I feel like we've already gone through so much, and there's more. And that's the thing is like we have been a little skeptical of some of Kelly's runways this season, but as the second round approached, she came out in this amazing gold look for her future look. I
oh
love
my
that.
god.
I love that she didn't take like the super Mad Max approach to
Yeah.
this because this is very futuristic. I feel like this is something that like a Nitro would have worn, like way back on season 15 in the U.S. Like this is fierce, and I even
Way
included.
back.
Yeah, exactly.
like that was 10 years ago.
But I wanted to specifically include a close up because I mean this wig was wild and detailed and pointed, and the makeup, like she even did kind of like a lightning bolt brow, but very different than Lorelai's. I was just so impressed with this look all the way around.
Stunning. She
Yeah,
looks stunning. I was gagged when she came out because I was like, I mean, I have been a bit more skeptical about her looks than you have been
yeah,
in the past few weeks, but I was blown away. Like this looks great. She looks amazing. The color of the outfit fits her skin tone so
oh,
well.
you're so right. Oh, and the way
Amazing.
the lights are hitting that, and like
Yeah,
it had such warmth and such a
great,
vibrant like energy to it, and Kelly's gonna sell that like a
yeah,
pro.
great. She looks amazing.
For her final look that she created, I I always hate it when queens reveal too quickly, and
Yeah.
I wish that she had walked out with this a little bit because the color and the iridescence of that outer layer is so gorgeous. And I know they do the runways a couple times. Maybe she did it differently, both of her takes, but they included this one that kind of revealed pretty quickly. But I
Yeah.
loved it. I loved that component of this, but it went pretty quickly and revealed to this. And honestly, I love this. It's my first thought was that like this looks cheap and trashy, and I love it, which I
Yeah.
think goes to the fact that that's the challenge. Is
Yeah.
to have that trash to couture kind of look that I thought Yvonne also did well. But you can tell that that's bubble wrap and like little paillettes. Like it's really not that complex of a garment, but it works. Like the silhouette is interesting, and there's enough variation and enough character in the selling of it that, I was here for it.
She looks amazing. I love the wig as well. She just looks great. I'm not even sure if I wanted her to like take off the outer layers because I thought she would look so beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would agree. This looks like it's made out of trash, and she still looks amazing. I'm always blown away, but by how well she does makeup.
Yeah.
Like every week, I'm like, oh my god, like how?
Well, I feel like we're getting such a variety. I mean, in the makeup and the wigs and the outfits, just across these 3 looks, she really is giving so much, and I'm glad she's getting the recognition for it. For Kelly, I have just got to give her heises all over the place. Yeah. She really earned those this week.
Yeah, she was super heist. Yeah.
And they all did so well. I mean, that's the thing, is even if I don't like necessarily the look that you made in the runway, it is so much better than I could do. And I've got a little bit of experience putting a garment together, but the pressure and the headspace that you must be in at this point in a competition and the circumstances under which you have to do it, I just can't imagine. I can't imagine like delivering like these queens did. And once again, like, judging has got to be hard. And once again, I'm not mad at how they handled it. First off, Pandora Nox getting the win. Yeah, definitely understand that. She had some incredible looks and served them in such a unique and powerful way. I don't think you could really look the other way when handing out a win. But they also gave the nod to Kelly, who was totally caught off guard.
Yeah.
But you know what? I thought that was totally fun. I really wanted Yvonne to get some recognition.
Yeah, oh my god. Poor Yvonne.
Yeah.
I felt so bad for her. The whole episode, they're pushing like the storyline of her like, oh my god, this is the week I'm gonna win, like I'm gonna completely different mindset. And she was so happy with her look that she constructed. And like she felt so confident, and she was like, oh, Meta is only like safe. Okay, then this is my week. I'm gonna win. And then they even have 2 winners, and she isn't one of them.
But when you look at them, though, like the two winners totally deserve it. And then, but you'd have to say that Yvonne did better than Meta at that point. And I think that they did a comparable job, but like they both were very elevated and really high quality in their looks. And like I think that the 4th placement is fair, but I hate that for her because she really is giving so much effort.
Yeah, and she looked so defeated.
I feel like you get the feeling by that point that you're out of the running for the crown if you don't already have a badge. And that's not 100% the case always, but I bet that she is really bothered by that, and I hate that for her because she's so great.
She looked so defeated, and I mean, like, now she's the only queen without a badge, and
Oh, poor baby. I just hate that for her so much.
Yeah, same.
Well, luckily for her, there were 2 queens that clearly struggled more than the other 4, so she wasn't really in danger of lip syncing like Loreley and Victoria were. So I knew that she was safe. I hated that she didn't get the recognition that she knew she really deserved. But that's the way the competition is. If everybody kills it, everybody kills it, and you just kind of gotta deal with that. And this lip sync was really intriguing. Okay, for one thing, nobody's supposed to be here. I'm not gonna complain because I love this song. Like, it's so good. But no, I will complain because this is another English-speaking song that we have heard before on Drag Race. I don't know why they're reusing songs when there are so many German songs that would be fine. I mean, I guess the German repertoire is not going to be as big or as like commonly known to the gay community as the English-speaking repertoire, but I mean, hell, I'd be happy with some male-fronted stuff. Like, give me some classic, like, Fanta 4 or Die Ärzte or Fettes Brot, Peter Fox. Yeah. Like, there's so many directions that you could take this. I mean, would some fucking Nena be that much to ask for?
Yeah.
Like, 99 Luftballons. Easy. Or even some other 80s stuff, like Modern Talking, like these German acts that even sing in English. Like, there are excellent choices.
Do you know Blümchen?
Blümchen, I forgot about Blümchen. That would be a fun.
That would be amazing. I
mean, that like super upbeat, like happy club kid, like oh my gosh, Boomerang. Oh my gosh.
I like the song. I like the lip sync song, but I also didn't feel like it was a great song to lip sync to because there was I don't know, I didn't like it as a lip sync song.
It's interesting because it is a lip sync song with a lot of emotion, which I feel like
Yeah.
Loreley did a great job of serving.
Yeah.
But it also is really high energy, so there's the opportunity to dance and to,
Yeah.
astound with your moves. It was just really funny to watch Victoria be so reliant on that microphone. Like as soon as she brought that out, I know that like the idea of a prop is to enhance the performance and it definitely lends to like, the pop icon look that she likes to go for. But what she did when she grabbed that microphone was really limit herself. Like she limited her actions to like making sure that she was, singing into the microphone. That's all that arm could do. And then she kept, putting the other hand in her ear like a Christina Aguilera moment. But that literally limited her choice of things
Yeah.
to do. And Lorelei, who we don't really think of as a dancer, danced circles around her. She was
Yeah.
so good to watch. Like she was serving incredible emotion, dropped down into a death drop. I did not see that coming. I did
No,
like we've
me
seen
neither.
Lorelei lip sync before, but she has saved some of these tricks for just the right moment, and I was gagged. Like she really served, and Victoria was doing fine, but like since she was kind of doing the same thing the whole time, she didn't have nearly the opportunity to splash out like Lorelei did and really utilize the stage and just leave it all out there.
I do want to give Victoria props.
She's already got enough props, girl.
Oh my god.
That's
Well,
my
no,
point exactly.
I, I want to acknowledge her for doing something else this time because we've seen her. This is her fourth lip sync, right?
Gosh, this
And we've
is her.
seen her lip sync 3 times by just like doing the craziest shit,
Yep.
like
Yep.
flopping around the stage, doing insane moves, which I mean, I guess it's entertaining, but also, again, kind of one note.
You're not wrong because at your fourth lip sync, like you have got to be scraping the bottom of the barrel of ideas, unless you're Silky Nut and Meg Ganache, obviously. I think it was a great idea. I just wish she had moved on from it and maybe tried to do
Yes.
something else.
Maybe even subconsciously, maybe she was like, well, I guess this is my time to go. And
It would be hard not to think that at your fourth lip sync,
yeah,
the inevitability of it. So to just pick something and go with it and have a good time, she definitely did that. And she was
yeah,
entertaining to watch. Just Lorelai kind of
no,
stole
for
the
sure.
spotlight,
Yeah,
which was understandable whenever it was announced that Lorelai,
yeah.
Shantae, she stayed, and our adorable Victoria Shakespears was asked to sashay away. And she had such a good attitude about it. I mean, she's such a sweetheart.
I was actually so like touched. I was like tearing up by how,
Aw.
because she genuinely seemed so content with the fact that she was gonna leave, and she
Yeah.
seemed so grateful.
Yeah.
Like a lot of queens say, like thanks for the opportunity and stuff.
Yeah.
But I felt like this time it was actually heartfelt. We
Yeah.
know who she is now.
Absolutely.
She seemed like she had a blast on the whole show, and she had an amazing attitude leaving. So it sounds bad to say I was happy to see her go, but I was genuinely so happy to see how she approached it and how she didn't lose her spirit and like her high energy. And yeah, no, she's amazing. She's gonna go far.
I think we just kind of like her realize that this is probably the time to go. And honestly, both of the Swiss queens, like, they both
Yeah.
lip synced a lot, her and Tessa Testicle. But when it was time for them to go, I think they were at peace with it. And, they were content. And it was really graceful the way they made their exits.
Tessa, graceful. She literally rubbed her ass on the mirror.
On the main stage, it was graceful. Okay. She gave a hell of a performance and a sweet goodbye. And then rubbed her ass all over a lipstick covered mirror.
But I agree, yeah.
No, I really am glad that we got to see them perform so much while they were on there, though, because they're great performers and really just kind of lit up my TV screen. And you know what? I will miss seeing that sweet face in the confessionals because she is just like a sweet little baby. But I know that this is not the last that we have seen of Victoria Shakespears. Wow, so what a week and what a top five we're left with. Like all five of these queens are so talented and I love them so much. I don't know what to expect because we still have a few episodes left. And I just can't wait. Next week is going to be a comedy roast, which is very different than the challenges that we've had, this kind of live improv comedy bit. I definitely want to see what each of these queens brings.
Oh my god, I really hope it's gonna be a Yvonne week. I really hope so. And I have really high hopes for this challenge because I really liked, if I remember correctly, all of the reads that they did in the reading challenge.
Yeah.
Like from the queens that are left. I am still so excited to do this.
Excellent. I'm so excited that you're excited because this is the highlight of my week, and I really am just in love with each of these girls and the members of the jury, and that just makes it so much easier to enjoy. I just want to go in with a clean slate and just enjoy the queens' performances and see where they go. I'd be happy for any of them to win. So I hope that all of you listening at home will continue to join us on this journey to the crown. A few more weeks left in the tank, and I'm just excited to see where we go. So we just covered episode 7 of Drag Race Germany Season 1. Be sure to join us next week for episode 8 and the comedy roast. Thomas, thank you so much for joining me. As always, love the hell out of you.
I love you too. Thank you so much for doing all the work, and thank you for having me. I'm so excited. It's always like my favorite part of the week.
Is what we do, huh? Awesome. Well, y'all enjoy your week, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.
Bye.